We've been saying for the last year, 2, 3 years, almost 4 years at this point, that we are just sick and tired of seeing the same old when it comes to Apex Legends, the seasons and the events and the way that they do things. It's time to change it up and actually improve the game and actually make changes that people want to see. And 2023 is beginning the process that looks like it could possibly be the case. Could you imagine in a world where Apex is finally in a stance where the community is happy, they like the updates, they are actually improving the quality of the game? I mean, this game would probably be the top game in the world. Apex's biggest downfall has always been the lack of quality, and if they were able to change that this year, obviously we would be looking great. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new over here, and let's jump into it. First thing that I wanted to mention, we had some developers giving their, I guess you would say this is like their little New Year's resolution, or at least a New Year's type update. And Josh Medina, the senior producer over at Respawn, he has given so many hints about what is coming to the game, changes that they are making, updates that they're finally bringing. However, he's also been the face of a lot of disappointment. A lot of things that are coming, but then they didn't come, and then we actually changed our mind, or we're not ready yet. And then obviously people get aggravated, and he's kind of picked up on that as well and said that it's all his fault for even tweeting that stuff when it just simply wasn't ready, and he thought it was going to be ready in time, and so that's why things happen. But he made this post yesterday saying 2022 definitely had its peaks and valleys, both professionally and personally. So at least he is also putting out there, in the professional world, obviously being this Apex Legends game, that it's had its peaks and valleys. Obviously we've had some good moments in 2022, but a lot of bad moments, like a lot, mostly all bad moments, honestly. 2023, we ball out, so hopefully that is the real case. He also said, I've learned to stop doing the same stuff and expect different results and not waste myself on things that I cannot control. Wish all health and wealth. Obviously a lot of this was probably more personal, but he did say at the very beginning, both professionally and personal. We also got another New Year's update from another developer who is the world director over at Respawn. This is coming from Eduardo, who said, let's start the year with a sneak peek at the creative process. Here's a reference photo that I sent over to our art team with the direction of more jacked and buffer. Let the speculation begin. Season 16 will be a fun one, and here is to a strong year. Happy New Year. And this was a fun one because obviously everyone went to the direction of, oh my gosh, Forge is back. Forge is confirmed season 4. If you guys are like not OG at all, you might not remember Forge was a legend that was supposed to be coming into the game in season 4. Revenant killed him, and then Revenant joined the games, and then everybody is just always saying, Forge is not really dead. He's coming back at some point. I think honestly, if they were able to write it somehow in the storyline, maybe Forge's ghost comes to join the Apex games, it would probably go wild, because people definitely have all been about like the Forge hype. Regardless, it is pretty cool to see from a developer a little sneak peek leak type of thing regarding season 16. I'll let you guys decide what you think all of this means. Now, before you go off and say Apex is going to disappoint, don't fall for it. I hear you, I understand you, but I do want to reference, Josh Medina's post earlier saying in 2023 we ball the freak out. And I do want to also kind of tie this into what we are going through right now with Apex, because if you guys are not aware, 8 days from now we're getting collection event. Obviously a Seer heirloom is nothing to go crazy about, but it is a melee weapon nonetheless, and it's a little bit better than a bunch of recolor events with a Wraith prestige skin. We're also getting a hardcore limited time mode during all of this, and then season 16 is going to launch. We're getting all new legend classes. We're getting a Valentine's LTM mode. We're also supposedly getting control in place of arenas. There's also another limited time mode for heat wave that's supposed to come at some point. Team deathmatch mode is coming as well. Those last two I don't think are season 16 specifically, but regardless, we've got a lot going on in the next couple of months for this game. And so yes, starting it out, they are balling out in 2023 so far. The question is, will this actually continue? Now, you may also say, well, these are just limited time modes, and obviously it'll be fun for a little bit, but then it'll go away. But there was also a situation where we had Josh Medina responded to PvP's playlist feedback, where basically PvP just said flat out, like, look, we need to have like a rotating LTM cycle mode that we can always kind of come in and warm up on. We should not have to just go jump into battle royale and that be the only option that we have whatsoever. I think people really like the fact that control mode kind of had that option where you could just go in, warm up for a little bit, leave the game, go play battle royale, and do what you needed to do. But we also kind of just had this situation where Josh Medina responded to this guy, PvP talking about this playlist issue, and just basically said, look, I'm writing some notes down. I definitely understand. So I like that it actually seems like they're trying to not just bring weird content and call it content, but they're actually trying to improve the game. game. That's a good thing. It's kind of some mixed signaling though, because like in season 15 launch, I'm pretty sure they said that they were just focusing on battle royale for Apex Legends, but then like right after that, like about a month after that it happened, you know, you also had the insider leaks come out and basically say no, TDM is coming permanently, control mode is replacing arenas permanently. So I don't know if that was just to throw us off. I don't know if maybe he was just talking him specifically, like the overall state of the game is going to prioritize battle royale, which we know that's going to be the case. But all things do point to the fact that Apex is going to be adding some more modes that are more casual that you can play permanently. And whether you hate Apex or not, we can all agree that is a good thing overall. Now, I told you guys about the collection event we're getting in just 8 days. Yes, January the 10th is when we are getting this new collection event, but obviously we will be getting some sneak peeks a little earlier. So this is literally this week we should be getting some things. Someone who leaks made this post earlier saying expect the event trailer and event patch notes Tuesday or Thursday. So we might even have these patch notes tomorrow. Going to be absolutely insane to see what they decide to change. I know it can't be too much considering most of their changes are planned for season 16. But regardless, finally, we're at the state of Apex where we can say the next season is literally next month. We can also say that we're getting a collection event this month and we're going to have a brand new LTM. Like, we have been in a terrible state for Apex Legends in the past couple of weeks, months even at this point. Season 15 was a terrible, honestly, 14 was better than 15. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. Season 14 so far has been way better than season 15. And you guys can hate me for this if you want, but I'm telling you, Kings Canyon brings the hype, bro. We need Kings Canyon to stay in the game. I know it's not the best competitive map. I'm not saying that it needs to be, but we do need it in pub rotations. And I think people love playing Kings Canyon. It's like this OG like effect that you just can't get rid of. I think another hard thing to remember is it takes a lot of time to bring in things that they agree to or things that they want to bring into the game. Like, it's not just like, okay, we'll do that and we'll have it by next week. It's going to take months. It's probably going to even take like onwards to close to being a year. Even in the response to the PvP post where like Josh Medina was, you know, saying like, you know, he's taking notes of all of this. Murdog was just saying like, hey, I'm not trying to assume here, but like you're responding to this like you've never heard this feedback before. But yeah, we've been saying this forever. You know, clearly we need to do a better job as players of offering feedback. I feel like a lot of this has been saying this, and I'm wondering if there is a good place for this stuff to actually be heard. And Josh just said, we hear this stuff all the time. I'm just continuing the conversation and going in depth. You don't have to have a check mark to be heard. You just have to simply be constructive. We see a lot of stuff that we don't or can't reply to everything or everyone. And then Josh also said that he's relayed a lot of this information and suggestions to the team from the community that he sees. So obviously, if you guys always have your best ideas, you know, make sure to make those vocalized. And that's kind of what I've always wanted to do on the channel, is take what the community is saying, take the vibe of the community. If the vibe of the community is that Apex sucks right now, I want to make sure that that's known so that Respawn seeing it can say, hey, look, a lot of players are aggravated. Obviously, I'm not the only person who's doing that. I'm not the only one who makes those movements. I'm just trying to make the voices louder so that the community can be heard. When things on Twitter go viral, I feel like that's meaning that a lot of the community feels that way. So I want to make sure that those things get seen. Regardless, you guys can hate me if you want to for being a guy who's overly optimistic, and that's fine because I know Apex has been like nothing but disappointment this year. But like from not only just like people saying things or hoping that Apex will get better, like there's a lot of leaks that indicate that the game is actually going to improve this year. So take it for what you will. Hope you guys did enjoy. Like the video if you guys did, and subscribe to the channel if you're new as always. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Finally, I'll be back streaming today, and until next time, I'll see you later, Gators.